Hi, beautiful human. I'm Zach. That's Santa. And we welcome to the studio, Nate Smith.
Yo!
Hey,
You're very interesting.
What?
Yeah. So you have a good heart. Like, you make good eye contact, like
Dude.
straight up. And I didn't know, you were a nurse's assistant.
Yeah.
So that takes a certain type of person. And then you were a worship leader at the same time.
I was, yeah, for
So
sure.
explain to me why nursing? Why'd you do that?
You know, there was an ad in the paper, sir. There was an ad in the paper. It was like looking for some help around a convalescent hospital. And I was looking for a job at the time. But I love people. Like, I love people a lot. And I signed up for it and I did like the CNA training. It was like a 6-week course. They're like, we'll pay you, train you, and then you'll get a job. And I just love people. Like, I love getting into like crazy situations and just like bringing a little bit of hope and light into a situation. And just did it for a long time. But I worked in all sorts. I've worked in neurotrauma and ICU.
Wow.
And that was really intense. You know, like you're giving chest compressions and doing the whole thing. And it was wild. That was my favorite place to work was in there. I just felt like I could bring the right amount of hope into situations and, you know.
But hope is there, but the priority is to stay focused, and you're juggling a lot, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Overstimulation to the highest degree.
And I'm just learning. I'm learning and just making sure that, like, you know, I'm hanging in there. But it's pretty intense. It's like war or something. It's insane.
I mean,
It's insane. Like the stuff that I've seen, like, is just insane, you know, on a daily basis.
are you making music simultaneous to that, or like?
Not really. No, because like I pursued music. So I've been a nurse assistant since I was 18, but I started I got my first like record deal offer and a publishing deal when I was 23. So I moved to Nashville, got eloped with this girl. And you know, it didn't work out, obviously, you know, because I didn't even know her or anything, and she didn't know me, and it was a horrible, sad situation, and like we sucked together, like absolutely sucked. But she's amazing. I haven't seen her in a long time, but
you moved to Nashville.
I moved to Nashville
with the hope of becoming a musician, right?
yeah, an artist.
And you end up getting a Christian record deal, right?
I had a Christian record deal on the table, and then like we were getting ready to sign long form, and then my A&R quit. Which people that don't know what A&R is, it's just the person at the label that signs you. It's your cheerleader there and stuff. And then I got a publishing deal. I didn't even know what that was. Like, what's a publishing deal? So now I'm writing for artists. Like, I'm supposed to write them a hit song or something, and I don't know what I'm doing barely. And then after the divorce, I moved back to California. I worked at churches. I drove Uber. I continued working as a nurse assistant. And it was just wild. I thought that was it for me.
But it wasn't.
No.
You're and this part is so wild. You go through something that very few people go through, but it's something that plagues our country and really our world, right? You live through a wildfire that takes your house, but almost could have taken your life.
Very close. There was a fire map that showed like the timestamps of where it hit at different times. And like if I had been in the house another hour, I wouldn't have been here because I worked night shift at the hospital. So I was supposed to be sleeping all day. I was up really late that night, just because my brain and body was still on that cycle. But yeah, there's a chance I wouldn't have been here for sure.
Wildfires are my biggest fear. Like the thought of my house burning down is the scariest thing in the world.
Yeah.
Did you
It's a
have
real
that
threat.
Did you have that fear living there? Because fires are present in Northern California.
Yeah. Like we were always fearful of that in Paradise because there's not a whole lot of exits. You know, it's a small town. There's like 2 roads out. So we're like, if we ever have something happen here, it's going to be pretty bad. Like we all knew that. And then sure enough, you know, it happened, you know.
Was that the campfire?
That was the campfire.
I remember that one.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. My dad, he was a lieutenant for the sheriff's department. So he worked for them for like 30 years. And he kind of had to sort of head the thing up. So he was like navigating all that and at the same time. And I moved in with my dad who lived in Chico State. And I moved in with my dad and he's like handling all that stuff. And I'm just trying to figure out what the hell I'm going to do with my life. Like, I don't know. Like, it just sort of like reset me completely. And then I wrote the song for Paradise and for this, you know, just sort of help out. And I raised a little money for a single mom and her kids. And next thing you know, I'm like writing songs again and I'm inspired. I've got a whole new vision of why I even want to make music. I have a purpose. Now that's like better than just like, I want to get a record deal and like, I want to get signed. Like I want to actually touch people with my music and bring something special, you know? And so like that was my whole new motivation. And like the doors, once I decided like I wanted to make it about everybody else, the doors flung open. It was like, you know, it was crazy. Like I've just been saying yes to everything.
But do you think you would have even like tried to make music again if it wasn't for that wildfire?
Man, I mean, that's a really good question. I mean, I probably like dink around in GarageBand maybe or something, you know? Like, I don't know. I mean, I 100% wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be doing this.
Well, because the song goes viral. It raises money for this family that needs it. But then your family supports you. It's your sister and her husband that chooses to invest in you early on.
Dude, yes.
That's crazy.
That is so $4,000.
And that changes your life, though.
Changes my life.
And it changes their life, too, because they get a house out of it eventually.
Yeah, they made their down payment. That's amazing that you know that. That's amazing. And they're getting that for life. Like, we had it set up for like a 4-year contract or something like that. And I was like, just take it forever. Like, I would not be here without you guys. So
can you just explain to me that moment in your life? So that's when you go back to Nashville, right? You're riding off of the success from this viral record that would lead into a deal with Sony.
Eventually, yeah. Yep.
What was your pitch to them, or did they just explain it to me?
To Courtney and Jake?
Yeah.
Just that I just wanted to make music again, and I wanted to go for it and do it for the right reasons. And it was funny. I had this co-writer I was working with one of the songs that I wrote on that EP, and he backed out last minute. He was supposed to pay for half of it, and I was like, I already booked the studio time and stuff, and didn't know what I was gonna do. So it really came to them like they knew what was going on. I was like, I'm kind of freaking out, and then Jake was like, dude, what if I just invest and we write up a little contract, and then we make it happen for you? I'm like, are you serious? Like, and we did it. He showed up like it was a drug deal with a bag of cash. And then I went up there and recorded those songs with my friend Joel, who I met through a friend, that actually gave me the guitar that I wrote the Paradise song for. So it's like this crazy like full circle thing. His name's Tom. He played for Florida Georgia Line for a long time, and plays for Luke Bryan now. And but yeah, and then I recorded that thing, and then my buddy was like, hey, you should try this like TikTok thing. And I was like, okay, I don't think it didn't seem very country. I don't know, like, you know, whatever. And I posted this song called Wildfire on there, and then it got like 1 million views or whatever. And I was like, that can't be real. Like, this seems kind of like phony or something. And then I watched my streaming numbers were going up, and then like labels were like DMing me and like, hey, we want to meet with you. And like I was like, oh my gosh. And then I met my managers kind of in the middle of all that. And I was like, I don't know what to do about this record label situation. Like, just tell them we're managing you so they don't say anything stupid. And then like, then pretty soon I had a manager. I'm like, wow, this is insane. Like, it was nuts.
Do you know or care to know why that song made it and the others maybe that you wrote before didn't?
I don't know. I really don't.
Is there something that you did during that, like, the creation of that song that you still carry with you today?
I'm really big on melodies. I'm really, really big on melodies. I think they're really important. I want every song that I write to be able to, you should be able to sing along by the second chorus. That's really important to me. So, I mean, that, and maybe just like that, so Wildfire, that song was about like, I mean, obviously there's the theme of wildfire, but then it was also about a relationship and kind of marrying those two ideas together, similar to the song World on Fire. That kind of concept, I guess I had a platform to say that because of what I went through, you know? So maybe people could relate to that, you know?
It's really fascinating because that song would not just like go on to change your life, but in some cases would change country radio history, right? Like, you have a single that has been on number one longer than any other record, or like now one is tied with Morgan Wallen. Like, it's unreal. And it's like, do you feel that it's all happened fast? Or, I mean, the reality is you've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah, dude. Like, it definitely has happened quick. Once it started happening, it just started happening, you know?
Yeah.
But it's funny, like, I got asked earlier in a different interview, they were like, man, like, that must feel crazy to like have like this like crazy record and stuff like that. I'm like, well, man, but like the producers, the songwriters that I wrote it with, like my management company that pushes it, my record side of my label pushing this song, the radio station saying we're willing to do it, the DSPs willing to do it, like Amazon making me Breakthrough Artist of the Year, like they're all helping me do this, and it means so much to me. Like, it really does. Like, it takes a whole world of people, but I'm just lucky to be the mascot of whatever the heck this thing is, you know? Like, that's it, you know?
You tap into something really important because the community that is country is a big reason for one's success, right?
It's everything.
And it's a beautiful community once you're in there.
Yeah.
For you in your life to have gone to Nashville and to have not been embraced, and then just to come back and be embraced in a way that, like, It's crazy. It's really cool. You can't fucking stop.
It's amazing. And like the fans are some of the best fans on the planet in country music. They're so loyal and they're like all in. Like I had a girl come to this last little run last week. It was her 20th time seeing me. 20th time. I'm like, you've got to be bored. You've seen the show a million times. You've seen it all, but she keeps coming. Like, there's fans like that. This is my 10th show, my 12th show. Like, crazy.
It's
so
really,
loyal.
It's really special.
Right?
Yeah, I don't know. It's really cool. And like your stories, the music's amazing. California Gold is a great album.
It's so good.
Oh, you guys got to hear it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's exceptional. By the way, you should listen to it. All of Nate's music is waiting for you on Amazon Music. There is a link below, and we have literally all of it. This will be your second album.
It's my second one, man.
It's a big one. But you have some collaborations on this one that are really different.
My mom, I grew up with my mom teaching aerobics. So she would
like Zumba,
Zumba,
sick.
regular aerobics though too and stuff. And I would go to her class. That would be like babysitting, whatever you want to call it. So I'd go to these classes and they would pump up the jam, all these songs like that. I got to be a huge fan of EDM music. Like I love dance music, and so like me doing stuff with like Alesso is so like natural for me and feels so right. I can't wait to do more in that world because I love it so much. But it's like then I'm doing like one of my favorite singers of all time is Avril Lavigne. And it's like, I got to do 2 songs with her. And this Can You Die From a Broken Heart feels like a huge nod to I'm With You. Like it has that world of like epic, emotional, like it's like Avril at her best singing these high notes, these epic high notes and just like all the emotion. Like, and I got to film a music video with her and stuff. It's like so sick, man. And she's a bro now, you know?
She's amazing.
She's the raddest chick, man.
You're spreading the definition and the bounds of country. Is that fair to say? Like you are feeling a Goo Goo Dolls, like Lifehouse, like give me like mid 2000s hot AC energy Rob Thomas.
Yeah.
Like you're filling a void, but it still stays true to country from what I'm hearing.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and then when you compare it to pop, it's definitely like country, you know what I mean? Like there's that thing, but
the story element and the catchiness of it still exists.
yes. It's weird. Like a few years ago, they probably wouldn't play these songs like Bulletproof and World on Fire and Whiskey on You. But it's like it's so cool. Like because they're playing it and they're going number one and it's doing what it's doing. It is in some ways kind of like altering the sound of country in a way, which is like that's crazy to me. Like to even have a hand in that whatsoever and hearing more artists kind of tap into like the rock stuff. It's so sick.
But is that a calculated thing or is it just something that's happened here?
Yeah. I mean. And like me and Bailey Zimmerman came out around the same time, and people like Corey Kent, and there is a little bit of like a movement happening, but it's like all at the same time. Like no one's trying to be rock or whatever. It's just like
Or we just had Hardy in. He just put out a rock album.
He's probably the heaviest of them all. You know.
Yeah.
You channel a few different layers though. Like there is like something that like I don't know, like Christian rock that still is like existent here, but also it's very country, and I don't know. It's really good. It's great body of work.
Man, thank you so much. I just love good songs.
Correct me if I'm wrong. From our understanding, you co-wrote 6 out of the 16, or did you co-write all of them, or is it just 6 of the 16?
Around I think 6. Yes.
So explain to me, like 1, how does a record start for you, and then 2, who are you choosing to work with on this stuff, and is it the same team or is it different people?
So there's a few things. So it always starts with the song. Like song is the most important thing. So when I got my publishing deal with Sony publishing this next go around, like Rusty Gasson, he was like, man, Nate, like your job is to find the greatest song in Nashville, whether you write it or somebody else writes it. Like you got to be not a songwriter, be a song finder, you know? So I was like, okay, cool. So I set out, I'm going to take my ego out of it. And I'm just going to find good music, good songs. I'm going to write some of them. I'm probably not going to write all of them, but I'm down to find the best song in Nashville or in the country, you know? And so that's where we start. And then once you get the songs right, then, you find a producer like Lindsay Rhymes, who I work with on most everything I do. And man, what makes him so good at what he does is he knows how to implement my vision like perfectly. Like if I'm like, hey, I want my vocal on this line right here to sound like I'm underwater, and then I want like a really cool delay effect that kind of surrounds your ears like this, and then I want you to EQ it just like that. He's like that. I'm like, yep, that's it. Like, and we just like we work like that together and to make it. And I'm very involved in every single part of that process, as well as like the mixing. So I'll get on the phone with the mixing engineer and dial everything in that way and stuff. But yeah, it always starts with the song, and then I have a great team. Like I think it's really fun.
What are you listening for when you're searching for the best song?
So first thing I do when I hear a song is like I'll pull it up, and then I'm listening to melody first. Melody and just kind of how it feels, like how's it hitting my ears, sort of. And I'm like listening down, and I'm like, yes, that's such a good pattern. That's such a good pattern. And then when the chorus hits, I'm really hoping for something unique, but catchy. And it has to, I usually like it when the chorus like has a bit of a lift to it. Like it needs to have like this like emotional lift, and then I need to feel the emotion. And then next thing I do is I go through the lyrics. I'm like, okay, cool. Like I'm like listening to the lyrics, and like certain words hit vowels different ways and stuff like that, and it matters to me. I know it's like so.
No,
I sound like a lunatic, but that's how I listen to music, kind of, sort of, you know.
it's interesting. Like we've never had somebody come in here and say like it's my job to be the best song finder. Like whether that song is coming from you or somebody else, like
it doesn't
ego
matter.
doesn't matter, because the ability to make something, like it takes two to tango, right? Like that song could be the best song ever. It still needs a vessel.
It needs a vessel. It does.
And it's the only way everybody wins. So, I mean, like that, it's an egoless approach. It's cool.
You just gotta feel it, man. Like you gotta feel it. Can I deliver this? Is it real for me? Is there a lyric in there that feels like really honest and true to me? You know, and you just know. Like you just know. Like you hear it and you're just like, that's me for sure.
Have you taken a song and changed it a decent amount and still like kept those writers on there, or are you really just listening for something as is?
There might be a couple times where there might be a line that wouldn't make sense, maybe, but I'd say most of the time I take it as is. And then the other thing too is like I listen to it. Sometimes they'll send it with my AI voice on it, and I love that because I can really get an idea
Really?
of how it'll sound. Yeah. But often they don't. And then I'm listening to the song and I'm kind of going, what is my voice? My voice will get raspy on that note right there, and it'll sound like this. And then I'm going to add a huge layer of guitars on top of that chorus right there to really rock it up. And then I'll like, it just kind of, I can kind of hear like what it could be.
Are you calculated on your lyric, like your vocal placement, or do you just kind of go based on emotion?
It's both. Like, so it's calculated for emotion. So like if the word, like so I'm there for the vocal comp. So if the listeners don't know what that is, that's where we do a ton of vocal takes. And then we decide what are the best takes emotionally and sonically, before we go in to like tune the vocals and make them sound really pretty and nice, like you hear on the records. So that's a whole process, and I'm involved with every single word that is printed on that thing. Like I might even want the little like crack of a voice at the very top of it, because I'm like, that makes me feel something. I don't know why. Or this word is, I kind of pronounced it weird, but it has a little crack in the middle of it, and it just feels like that's going to emotionally hit my heart more. I don't know why.
Have you ever done it in one take? And gone with it?
I've done like 2 passes maybe. Yeah.
Wasn't Whiskey on You a demo?
Yes.
I heard a bit about that. What's that full story?
So I broke up with my girlfriend. Well, she kind of broke up with me. It was sad. 2 days later, I had a writing camp at this lake house, and I sat down and wrote that song with a couple of my friends. Lindsay Rhymes, one of those, my producer. And then we sang the vocal on literally this exact microphone right here at the kitchen table, and then just made it sound great. And then I went back and I re-recorded everything back in Nashville because we wanted to cut it. It did not have the same thing. It just sounded like manufactured and canned, and it just didn't make me feel any emotion whatsoever. I felt numb listening to it. I'm like, this isn't it. So we went back to the demo, exactly the demo, and we mixed everything on there. It was crazy.
What do you learn in that moment?
Sometimes it's right the first time, you know? And then, yeah, like it's okay to say that this doesn't feel good, even if you spent money on it. You know?
It's true.
You know, because we hired people to do it, you know, and everything. But if it doesn't feel right, like it's okay to speak up and be like, hey, this isn't going to be a hit this way. I just know it won't. I know it's not going to hit people right. I don't know why.
Yeah, and you'll always make it back when the product is right.
Mm-hmm.
So do you think there's a common thread that connects your 3 biggest records?
They're honest. They're anthemic. They're empowering. They're different. They're me. They're rockin'. You know, there's so many things that go into it. I mean, I'm very specific too about like the layers of vocals. I want to make sure that there's like all my choruses. I have like, I'll sing the lead chorus, and then I'll do like a second. They call it a double, and I'll do a double, and I'll do another double, and then we'll pan those left and right in the speakers, and then like we'll actually melodyne my harmonies into those so they're really crisp and perfect. And it just, for some reason, it gives it, and I do a shitload of delay. Like probably more delay than anybody else. I was like, why are you doing so much? Some people call that echo, you know? I think it sounds amazing to me when you do that. So like, I don't know.
What effect do you get out of that echo that you were trying to achieve?
It like fills all the pockets of audio. Like, and it just sounds epic. Like, it just sounds really epic. Like, it just sounds sonically good. It makes me feel good.
How do you know when a song is done?
There's times where I go back and I'm like, oh, I should have done that. I should have done that. You know, like on first record, there was a song called Storms After that I love so much. And I hear it every time. I'm like, damn it. Like, why did I not put more heavy guitars underneath that? Why did I not like make that one way more rockin'? Why did I not? Because I'm perfecting my taste.
Do you feel like you're still finding who you are as an artist?
I mean, I'm always like evolving stuff, but I know who I am. I definitely know who I am, and I know why I want to make music. I know what I like, but I think it could evolve. I mean, like, because I'm a fan of music, man. Like, I just like music. So like, there could be a song that's quite poppy, you know. I've got some that are sitting in the can right now that people would say are straight, unapologetic pop songs, and I love them.
So how do you define a pop song?
I think when it's driven mostly with beats and stuff like that, and less of the heavier guitars, and the melodies can kind of dictate that a little bit. Like, I'd have to show you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd have to show you.
Why are they sitting in the can? Are you afraid to release them, or
No,
they just
no.
not make sense for this project?
Exactly. Like, they were on the project, and then so what I think I want to do is I think I want to put out like another like deluxe or something like that with this California Gold, and then I would attach some of these. There's two specific songs that I'm like really fired up that really go together. I think that'd be really cool. Even though we're in a generation or a time period where like singles kind of drive everything, I still think there's something to be said about having things have a cohesiveness. I do like that.
How do you define country today, like the genre?
I think kind of what you were saying earlier, just like storytelling, authenticity, and truth, you know, just telling your story. I really think it's that simple. I don't think it necessarily has to be a lot of the music stuff, but I think I'm going to contradict myself because the music can kind of change the genre a little bit. But at the same time, I think it's weird. Like, both worlds can exist, you know, where it can be still pop, but it can be country, but it can be country, but it can be rock, but it can be, I don't know. It's really hard to put into words.
It's true. I kind of think pop is a catch-all genre for anything that's really popular.
Popular, right?
What lends itself to popularity is things that people can sing, you know?
So maybe I should be more specific. Like, when I say something, okay, this is a straight, unapologetic pop song, I should just say it's a bit dancier. It's a bit dancier. It's a bit more beat-driven.
I mean, are you using live instruments on it?
No.
Really?
No, not on this specific song.
Do you use live instruments in the room when you're recording?
Yes, before I do my vocal. Vocals are always separate from tracking.
Yeah.
So we'll track the drums and everything live, and then we'll bring those into the elements that are already there, that are programmed and stuff. Because some of the program stuff just sounds right, and then we'll do the vocals after. And I'll go to Lindsay's house, and we'll just like, we have a whole system. Like, I'm sitting down when we're doing it, got the lights turned down. Like, it's a whole process.
Did you learn anything as a worship leader that like has made you into a better musician?
Oh, so much, man, so much. So that was the first time I was ever on click track, and hearing metronome in my ears and getting used to that sound, or the cues like chorus 2, 3, 4, like all that kind of stuff. Like, I learned that from leading worship. I learned how to put a set together. I learned how, like, in live music, like you kind of want like an up tempo, less up tempo, a little less up tempo, or a ballad, and then a ballad, and then you bring it back up, and you have to have these like roller coasters of emotion in a live set. So I learned that from leading worship, and I learned to be vulnerable. That was probably the biggest thing. I learned how to be vulnerable with my voice, which is a scary thing to do, like to be vulnerable with your voice, not just sing, but like allow you to hear the emotions behind it, you know?
Yeah, that's an asset, dude.
That's a thing.
And to do that numerous times in a week in some cases, or at least once a week. Yeah,
for sure. For sure.
That's powerful.
Yeah, man.
Do you apply anything today? Like, I mean, just like even how you read a crowd, like there has to be something there. Like, you're so, even in a church, like even the big mega churches, you can still see people's face. Like, you feel that energy. It's palpable.
You're still leading people. Like, I'm still leading people at concerts, you know, into somewhere, you know. I think it's important that I'll lead them into something good, you know.
Yeah. Where are you leading them today?
It depends on the song. Sometimes I'm leading them to put your glass up like this, you know. But yeah, I always take them back to to the reason why I do music and the reason why I love people, and that, you know, without being overly spiritual, that I wouldn't be here if God didn't open the doors for me. You know, like he really, I feel like he really opened this whole thing up to me, and I owe him everything. So I always make sure I go back to those like fundamental, like important things, you know?
It's true. Open up the door, burn your house down in a random fire. It's crazy. I mean, dude, like God, universe, however you want to define it, definitely put you on this path.
For sure.
Can we talk about fix what you didn't break?
Yeah.
What does that really mean?
It's not someone's responsibility, you know, to fix you up and everything. It really is something that we got to do. Like,
amen.
I go to therapy every week. I take care of my stuff, man. I'm cleaning my house. You know what I mean? And trying my best that I can to take care of myself. But it's like, you know, someone who sees all that brokenness in you and is like, you know what, I'm gonna walk through it with you. Like I'm gonna be in this process with you. I'm gonna love you through this. Like that to me just feels like that's the real thing right there. That's the real side of love, you know? That song really talks about it.
It is hard though to be in a relationship with somebody who's not choosing to take accountability or work on themselves or take care of, you know, you go to therapy once a week. Like that is an obligation. It's work. It's hard.
I take medicine. I take an antidepressant every day, you know? I've been on that for years and years and years. You know, like I'm doing everything I can to make sure that like my house is swept, you know? And
you're the best possible partner and friend, coworker, family member, everything.
Dude, I want to be the best. I want to be so supportive. I want to be your number one fan, you know? And I want to give 150%, no matter what you do. It doesn't depend on you, you know?
Could have left me just the way you found me, but you came and put your wings around me. Girl, you went out of your way to fix what you didn't break. To fix what you didn't break. It's true. It's a real partner.
It hits hard.
Do you have one of them?
I do. I just started seeing somebody.
Hey, do you write that from a place of like aspirational, a partner you want?
Aspirational, correct. And just, you know, what I think it should be like. There's lyrics in there like I was a 10-year train wreck, you know? And there's this like thing about 10-year town in Nashville. It's a 10-year town, but it hadn't been that many years after my divorce, the 10 years. So that was kind of a reference and a nod to that first marriage.
Do you think about that marriage when you make music?
Some of the songs, there's a song called Sleeve, and it's exactly the story, like to the T. Like every single lyric actually happened. It's real. But that song was, the big thing about that song was like, I'm not going to be a victim. Like, I'm not going to let like heartbreak change me into an asshole. You know what I mean? Like, I want to still be a good person. I still want to like love the same as if I never had a broken heart, you know? Easier said than done, but that's something like I really strive to just make sure like bad things won't change me into a bad person, you know?
They say like hurt people, you know?
It can.
But
It
really can. But, you know, it takes real strength to like stop that stuff in its tracks and have the awareness of it and heal it for the sake of everybody else.
You're after the deeper things, man. Like I really like that about you already. I could just tell like you're really after like the heart of things.
I mean,
have you always been like that?
I think so. I don't know. I like maybe, yeah, definitely emotional, definitely empathetic, and also very curious.
And I love that, man. I love that so much. I can see it. Like you're a good guy. And there's a reason why you have a platform like this, and there's a reason why you're doing this. You know.
Thanks. Real recognizes real. So genuinely,
I really mean it.
Appreciate it. You're a testament to this ability that like I preach about too often, which is consistency. Like you gotta get up and swing, and like it takes courage to get up and swing, dude. Just showing up anywhere takes courage and strength. Like it's a hard fucking thing, and you chose to get up and swing, even when everything was literally in ashes and rubble. So, yeah, you're meant to do what you're doing. So it's cool stuff, and you're really talented. It's like that's, you know, it'd be weird if you weren't talented, you know.
It'd be a little awkward.
Yeah, it'd be real weird if you're just using Melodyne on everything.
Oh yeah.
I see.
Of course, the drums, no.
Yeah, everything is just auto-tuned to perfection. A record like "Fix What You Didn't Break," you co-wrote that one.
Yeah.
Written from an aspirational place. Are you writing with the same co-writers? Or do you like kind of look for the best of that too?
Wherever they come from. So you know, there's a group of folks I like to write with a lot. I've been writing a lot with Ashley Gorley. And if you guys aren't familiar with Ashley, he's got like almost 80 number ones in country music. That's just number ones, not top fives, not top threes.
That's crazy.
He is the Michael Jordan of songwriting in our community. And I'm lucky to call him a friend. I could just call him up. I could like call up Ashley, be like, dude, I want to write this song, and he'll like hit me back. I'm like, that's so cool.
But is it challenging at first to be vulnerable with these people?
Yeah, because and it's challenging to push back. because you're like, you guys are like the best of the best. Like, who am I to say like, oh, I don't know if that's the right, you know what I mean?
Totally.
So it's kind of scary to give any like feedback, but I think that's part of like being vulnerable is like saying, hey, this doesn't feel like me. And they want to write a song that feels like you with you, you know, in every way.
And that's mutual, right? Like you want like push back on me too, the same way that you should push back on them.
But yeah, we're in a place now, like with the team I've been working with, that we can do that and stuff. And I'm going to be writing with Ryan Tedder
cool.
soon. And I'm so excited. That's been a huge goal of mine for 14 years or something. Like I've wanted to write with, I met Ryan. He would never remember, but like a long time ago when I lived in Orange County for a year. And he One Republic had a show and he came down off. I was like, hey man, I'm Nate. Like, nice to meet you. And I was like, I'd love to write with you one of these days. He's like, here's my management number. And I just couldn't get a hold of them or whatever it was, you know? But like full circle, like he sent me a message the other day. I was like, man, I'll move whatever and we'll make it work. And I'm like, whoa, like that's the coolest thing. I am like blown away, man. Like you were like, I think we're gonna have the similar taste. We both love melodies the same way and stuff. So it's gonna be pretty cool. I think we're gonna write a banger together. It's gonna be so fun.
I just had goosebumps because that is the definition of a full circle moment.
Yeah, dude. I'm writing with Ryan
you
Tedder.
manifested that in ways and also worked towards that for a long time. How do you, are you going to like go in with an idea? Are you going to go in blank slate? Like, how are you going to enter into that session? Which I think is at his house, I'm sure.
I might go in blank.
Damn.
Just see what happens.
That's good.
Let's just create something.
Be prepared to be a vessel, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We love
I'm nervous
Ryan
to
Tedder.
like sing in front of him and stuff. I'm nervous to like get on that mic and everything. Like, you know, I am. Totally am, man. Like, the guy works with the best, you know? But it's going to be so much fun. I'm just going to be a student and try to make the best record we can.
Yeah.
So
If he's doing his job right, which I'm sure he will be because he's Ryan Tedder, he's going to make you feel hella comfortable.
I think so.
He's a really special person. He's one of our favorite guests.
Have you guys met him a bunch and had him on here?
He's been on twice.
Yeah, he's
Sick.
so interesting.
Sick.
Yeah.
Really, really, really special person with incredible insight and like, God, like one of the greatest artists to exist and great producer and writer. But yeah, dude, really good person.
And so talented at singing. Like the vocal runs that guy does. He's like he sent me a song the other day. He's like, maybe that'd be cool to have you on this one. I'm like, yeah, dude, I love it. He's like, you really got to belt it on these parts over here. I was like, oh, like you? Like, because he's like, oh. I'm just like, I don't know how you even do, like my voice won't do that.
So
you know?
how often is that happening now where people are just shooting you records to just, would you want to hop on?
Pretty often. Yeah, pretty often. Especially in EDM, I'm getting a lot more pitches in that world and stuff, and that makes me really happy. So we're talking with a few other pretty big DJs that I'm excited about and stuff, and we'll see what happens with those. But I want to do a lot more in that space because I love it so much. You know, I
could see you working with Diplo soon.
Maybe
It just makes sense.
Yeah, that would be good. He's killing it in the country scene. Marshmallow's killing it in the country scene. What I loved about Alesso was that he didn't have a country hit yet.
I was gonna say, go to Tiesto. Go to Alesso.
Ooh, let's go.
Diplo's busy. Okay.
Well, I think they're all pretty busy.
Let's go to Martin Garrix.
He followed me. Okay, he freaking followed me.
Martin's a good person.
Yeah. I was like, I've never met him. I'm like, oh my God.
Nah.
I just wrote like big fan. Cool. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
He's exceptionally special. And
Yeah.
like Martin Garrix and Tiesto are very similar, like in the way, just two of the smartest people in
And that
genre of
music is so far reaching.
Dude, far reaching, but also they're a step ahead. I'll talk about it all the time. Tiesto is an older dude. He has the ability to be a tastemaker and to be a fortune caster.
Whoa.
Like, future caster, I'm sorry. And like really genuinely understand where music's going. Not like by half a step, by a step and a fucking half, dude. Like they're sourcing beats, they're understanding things on a global scale. Like there's some of the most genius individuals in this music industry.
It's beyond just instinct. Like he just knows.
No,
like,
dude, they know. Diplo too. Like Diplo right now, like we said the other day, like he's probably listening to some kid's beats that he made in like a basement in Brazil. Like that's.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like they're
He knows
sourcing
everything.
things. He just knows. They all know. They're very smart.
So they do a lot of research.
Yeah, I think Zed's genius too.
Oh, Zed's
a
man.
genius.
Hell yeah.
I mean,
Well, what conversation did you have with Alesso about I Like It? Because like you have to blend dance and country, and you guys almost did it perfectly.
I
Like
think the lyrics helped a lot with that. You know, like even if you just have something like Hands on My Levi's, it instantly gives you like a country kind of vibe, you know? Not that people who don't like country can't wear Levi's, but it's like it just feels like that to me, you know what I mean? Melodies were great. And he tried to make sure that there was real guitar and stuff like that in there to kind of give some of those organic elements. That does kind of make it feel country. Again, like you're not bound to it because there's a guitar or not a guitar, but it just kind of gave it that vibe. And I thought it was a hit. I was like, oh, this song is so good. And like you could sing along to it right away. And then, I mean, as soon as you sing it, people like already can sing along to it. It's awesome. It's been killing it for me. It's doing really well.
Was that song fully packaged pretty much when it came to you, or did you write to the beat that he started?
I got to have a little help in it and everything. So I got a little bit of like writer's credit just to kind of the involvement and stuff back and forth. We had a lot of back and forth on different versions and big decisions we were making and stuff. Like we did a special with Variety. We kind of break it down, kind of how the intro was totally different. And then me and him sat on the bus and we're like, okay, what if we it was cool. He was so fun to work with. Such a cool guy.
But it's cool to work hands-on like that. And really like actively, collaboratively blend genres and make something right.
Not just like it's just happening over here and like, cool, let's put it out. No, it's like we were all in. He was all in, I was all in, teasing it a ton on socials.
Yeah, like you can't do something like that for the sake of doing it or because like it's just like something to check off.
I want to be fully in. And like Avril was fully in with me, with
She's so, I mean, like what was it like working with her? Because she's really a special energy.
Special energy, one of the most present people ever.
That's the right way to describe her.
She's present.
No, shockingly present and aware of everything. I think she gives elephants sometimes. Like she can remember things that like I was like, I don't know, why were you aware of that? Very present.
Very
present.
And that's what's so cool about her. Like I spent like a whole evening hanging out. We got chased by paparazzi and all this crazy stuff happened. And like it was just a blast. But like I had stuff to do and I wasn't even worried about the stuff I had to do. I was just like, we're having a blast. We're drinking wine and being crazy. And I'm going to suck at skateboarding. And this is embarrassing. I'm in boots. And it wasn't the boots. It's just, I'm just not athletic. But we had a good time. She's the best, dude. She's involved in every little aspect of it in a good way and not a controlling way. She's just so creative. She's so creative.
Did you write the record together or did you give her something?
That was an outside pitch.
Really?
And here's the craziest thing. This is the craziest part. Song got sent to me. I was like, I love this song so much. It makes me feel that the melodies were right, the lyrics were right, the words were right. I'm like, I can relate to this pain. I've felt this before, and that can you die from a broken heart? Like that line right there is just like, in bold. And I literally thought in my head, I was like, it needs another singer. I think it should be Avril Lavigne. And I went to Lindsay Rhymes, my producer, and I was like, can you do her AI voice? Put her AI voice on the song and let's take a listen. And we listen. I'm like, she has to be on this song. Like this has to happen. And then I sent it to my management team and I was like, this is amazing. This is my goal. Can you imagine if Avril was on this? And then they reached out to her team and she said yes. Like, what?
It's beautiful.
Isn't that crazy though?
I love that you use AI.
I use it for the right,
reasons.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's cool.
I think eventually like artists will license their AI model for a fee, I would think.
Someone was just talking about that here.
You'll license your AI model.
So meaning like somebody can use your voice like
on songs for a fee or whatever, yeah.
Oh, like in the public domain.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Because now like they can do it for free for internal
or like like in a public domain, but more like you'd pay a fee, like like another label and they want to do a song and they want to put it out and then they reach out to Sony Records and go, hey, like we want to use Nate's model for this. Okay, great. It's $50, whatever it is, and then there it is. Hopefully 50,000 or whatever it is. But yeah, I think that'll happen.
Everybody has a different take on it, but pitch purposes is really fascinating. And then the idea of licensing your and do you want people to know that it's AI? Say I license your voice. Like, do you want the world to know that you didn't even talk to me? We made this beautiful record. People are crying
no one
to
would
it.
know.
They're getting
Eventually,
married
they won't
to
know.
it.
They won't even you won't even be able to distinguish the difference.
Yes.
You would never know. Like even right now, it sounds really good. Like really, really good. I hear it sometimes and go, I can't tell that I didn't sing that.
Wow.
Because it had my rasp in the chorus. Like what the hell? Like that's nuts.
Oh, that's frightening.
There's times I can't tell. The only way I can tell is if the person who sang it had a different type of way of pronouncing a word or something like that. I wouldn't pronounce a word that way or something.
So there's a person singing it and then it goes through your voice. It changes it. So someone has to sing it originally.
Someone has to sing it. Yeah. Wow. Yep.
Dude.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, dude, I'm sweating. It's a lot to
I'm
talk about
sweating.
because it's overwhelming if you want to like really get lost into this idea that I don't need to be here. You don't need to be here. Nobody needs to be here. But then at what point is it coming from nothing, you know?
And when do we lose the art?
Totally.
You know? I don't think we'll ever will, right?
100%. And there's moments like I just started like, there's just no way because even AI at its best will never come up with whatever you come up with in the next second or whatever. It's just not possible. Like, and they're never going to be able to duplicate this in a way that is meaningful or like they'll never be able to listen.
You never know.
For shits and gigs, I would like hit up ChatGPT. I was like, can you give me questions as zachsang for ASAP Ferg, who was here last week? And you ask it a few times so it can refine the query and really give you a refined answer. And the truth is, some of the questions I would ask, and then most of the questions I wouldn't.
Yeah, but it's still so new.
Whoa.
Like, imagine it in 10 years. It's going to nail it.
Well, what was scary is like it knew exactly who the fuck I was. So like they did sound like me, right? Like
Whoa.
They were using words I'd use and speaking the way I would. And it knew everything about ASAP Ferg, obviously. So it's very scary. And then there's obviously like I can take our prep packets that we do, which are many pages, upload it, and then it could even give me questions generated from that. It's weird. I've been told that I can sit in a room for 3 hours and I won't need to come in for another year.
That's weirdo.
Yeah, and they would just pay me and license it. Weird, right?
Are you even really here, man?
I'm definitely here.
It's a hologram.
I wish. I'd look better as a hologram.
Oh my gosh,
I
stop
look
it.
way thinner. Can we please talk about what Alone looks like?
Dude, that's my favorite song on the album.
Why?
Because it just rocks. Like in the most, I don't mean that in a weird way, but like it just like the way it starts, and then it comes into this huge like intro and stuff. It just feels so good, dude. And I love the melodies. I love the story of like, is this somebody that like I could never picture my life without, like, because I'm losing her, or is she already gone and I want her back? Like I don't want to live without you in any way, shape, or form. So I love the story of the song, but I love the sonics of the song, and we open my concerts up with that now. Because it just hits so hard. I love that song. For some reason, it's just like I want to hear it all the time.
So you open with what Alone looks like. What do you close with?
We close with World on Fire. Well, technically, so yeah, our last song's technically World on Fire, but then we go into I Like It with Alesso. And we turn it into a big party, and we all get up on stage. Like my band will put their instruments down or whatever, and we all get up there with cups and stuff and just like throw our hands up and get crazy. And I do the whole like, I like it. Yeah, like that. And I just kind of become this other, like, I feel like in a previous life or something, I was a DJ or something. I don't know. But
Previous life, future life,
Yeah.
Moonlight.
Yeah.
Sick.
But yeah, I love Faith. I think that's a really good song on the album. That one's just feels really good.
I like Want Me Back.
I love Want Me Back too. That was one of the last ones I wrote.
Okay. I thought that song was great.
Yep.
What I wanted to ask about performing quickly is, what do you learn from performing opening for Morgan Wallen in stadiums?
I learned a lot from him. I learned a lot from Thomas Rhett, and I learned a lot from Brett Eldridge. Those were the three big tour, and Cole Swindell. I went on tour with all those guys and like just watched all of them. And there's a level of confidence, I think that's a big part of it. Like they're confident, but I think I learned a lot watching them, but also just kind of like getting up there and doing it, and realizing like it's not one size fits all. Just because Morgan goes like, or he goes, thank you, after every song doesn't mean that I have to do that, But, I saw one thing that I learned from Brett Eldridge as an example. Before he would like, when he was all done with the set, he would walk from corner to corner and he would just say thank you for like 5 minutes and just like, thank you over here, thank you. And like, he would just take his time before he got off stage. He didn't rush off stage. And then Thomas Rhett, I learned a ton about like utilizing the entire room. Like he would perform to the people up here, he performed to the people over here, and make sure that he made everybody feel included with it. And then Morgan just has hits. Like Morgan, like every song's a smash, and everybody sings it, and it's a beautiful thing. And he keeps it like he doesn't talk a ton, but I think he's very comfortable up there. He's like super comfortable, and I love it.
It's the gratefulness that exudes off of most country artists is pretty cool. Like even Brett Eldridge to go around, like he's grateful. Like that's a big deal.
He is,
like,
man.
And it's also a big deal that people spend money to come and see him.
Not just the tickets, babysitters.
Yeah, it's
the
a
travel,
huge
flights,
commitment.
hotels. Like that is a lot of money.
And by the way, like followed up by like eventually them going to Nashville and going to his bar, because I'm sure he has a bar.
Yeah.
He definitely has a bar. Google that. You gonna have a bar?
Maybe. That'd be pretty cool.
You have to have so much money that your money guy goes like, where are you going to put all this?
Like,
You're going to have to like
I'd do
open
different,
something.
Though. I'd do something. I'd like do games and like all sorts of stuff.
Oh,
like
that's cool.
I want it to be like a fun, like crazy fun time or something. I don't know, arcades or I don't know.
Oh, that's sick.
Right? Like no one.
That doesn't exist on Broadway yet.
It doesn't. I think that'd be really fun.
Interesting.
Something more like different like that. You know, there'd be alcohol, obviously.
Because it's true, like everybody has a bar.
Maybe Slurpees, like alcoholic Slurpees.
Sick.
And then just like a bunch of like Chuck E. Cheese vibe games.
Oh, brother, if you want an investor, you let me know.
Hey, let's go.
That's pretty good.
It'd be fun, right?
Yeah, like I like the slushy idea. I like the arcade concept.
And then there'd be like an EDM room where you're just like,
Hey,
like,
Google Barcade Nashville. Just make sure this doesn't exist already. That's pretty good.
right?
Yes.
It'd be fun. I think that's the only thing that would be different on there's nothing like that on Broadway. It's just
Totally.
live band, music.
And you still keep the live band
Totally,
aspect. but you
totally.
add arcade games. Mm-hmm. That's pretty cool. You've been thinking about it.
No.
It is like a rite of passage over there, though. Everybody has a bar.
Everybody's got a bar.
Or a restaurant.
Yeah.
Like everybody. It's cool.
I might invest in Craig's.
Oh,
'cause-
oh my God, in Nashville. You're going to put Craig's in Nashville? Yes.
Yeah, they're definitely looking at doing that. So
Oh, brother.
I met with him last night, and I was just like, man, that'd be cool to get involved with that.
You should do
I love Craig's.
Great restaurant. Great guy.
Yeah, dude.
We're-
Nicest dude.
I use his pen.
Look at that.
Yeah, yeah. No, you should invest in that.
I think so.
Fuck yeah. That'll do great.
It's gonna smash.
Totally. And now I'm thinking to myself, like, every time I'm in Nashville, like, where do I go eat? And every time I go, where do I go eat? And it's like maybe at a hotel usually, but now I'll go to Craig's when it happens. Manifest that. Knock on that log. Knock on the log. Oh, it's going to happen now.
See.
All of Nate Smith's music is waiting for you on Amazon Music. Link below. What are you thinking over there?
What are you thinking?
You posted something about 2 weeks ago about the pressure artists are under when it comes to numbers, both social media and streaming. What were you going through that day that made you want to make that post? Because you got a lot of support from other artists on it. So
much support.
Yeah.
Like I was just frustrated. Like, I mean, the grind of like gearing up for this album release and stuff, like, and the pressure of like, gosh, if this video doesn't go viral, like, am I going to get enough pre-saves? And I'm constantly texting and asking about all this stuff. And none of that, it matters, but it doesn't matter. Like, has nothing to do with like the music itself. And then just seeing like other people just, you start comparing to them, like, oh my gosh, how did they get to 1 million followers on Instagram? And I'm grinding with 30 videos a day, or all this like crazy stuff. But I don't know. I wasn't even like, I didn't know that I would get the kind of response I got from it. But I think all of us feel that way. We're all feeling that right now. We're like, man, like, what's it gonna be? Like something has to change, but like we can't change it right now. It's too big. So like, what do we do? And just trying to figure out how to get through it, I guess, because things have just changed, like the way that we get our music out there and everything. It's like it has to go viral.
Yeah, it is true. It's democratized, so the platforms are accessible by everybody. There's no real gatekeepers anymore, but it's also quite the perspective from someone
The
who's
algorithm's the gatekeeper.
100%. And like the people are the gatekeeper, right?
Yeah.
To a certain degree. Mm-hmm. They're the tastemakers. But like it is an interesting perspective from somebody who's sitting on top of the world with 3 number ones and their history defining. So like, would you say that success would still be there if not all those songs went crazy viral. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you didn't, to a certain degree, you don't, like the internet can catch up eventually. It depends on the game you're looking to play. But to be fair, your initial intro into the public sphere was virality.
Yes. I would hope. I would hope that good songs get through. I would hope. But like I know artists and songs that are incredible that they've got 12,000 monthly listeners or whatever. It's like that's crazy to me. I'm like, that's a smash. It's strange, right?
Yeah, it's really interesting because like it's so big that you can't really do anything but play a part in it. But also at the same time, like tastemakership doesn't necessarily exist. Like the algorithm is a very broad tastemaker.
I love that phrase.
It's like, but think about it, like where you used to go to MTV, you used to go to the radio, you used to go to places, you used to consume media and then songs were attached to it. TV shows, like bands like The Fray or Goo Goo Dolls, like benefited so heavily off of things like ABC having a night of their slate dedicated to dramas. Like
it doesn't just move the needle anymore.
No, everything
like what?
Everything impacts very differently. And like, okay, yeah, you can get one great sync and you may get cash for it, but is that going to result in more business? It's like, it's very hard. It's a different world.
It's really challenging, huh?
Yeah, I do not I don't.
Because you probably, I mean, you're virality for you too. And
totally.
I mean, we're all
numbers consume everything.
And the problem is the algorithm changes all the time. So you may think you have it figured out, and the next week it's like, what happened?
Oh, it's like the wind, dude.
Yeah. It's just completely different. But how have you learned to handle it? Like, do you sit there and stare at likes and comments anymore, or have you learned to just kind of post and
I took a break from looking at the likes.
You did.
That's a big part of
smart.
it. That's a big part of it. I've taken a break from looking at the likes and the views over the last like week and a half, 2 weeks.
Probably makes you feel a lot better.
Dude, way better.
Yeah.
And not looking at other people's stuff. Like, who cares? They're in your own lane. You're doing your own thing. I'm doing my own thing. Like, and I feel a little bit better. So that must be a lot of it. I think I'm learning.
All the energy you can give to competitors, you give to yourself and perfect your product.
That's
and
right.
Everything will fall into place. Hard, like easier said than done. But like, I don't envy any position of an artist. Like, you guys have the most vulnerable jobs. You create something out of nothing and then choose to share it with everyone to be judged and critiqued, or to feel understood and build community. It's like, it's a big job. So,
But it's fun. Yeah. It's fun. It's the best job in the world, dude. Like, it's amazing. I love performing. I love getting on stage and connecting with people. I used to be so scared to look at people in the eyes. Like, I couldn't even do that. Like, even just a few years ago, I was like,
really?
yeah. Just a few years ago, I couldn't even do that. Because I'm actually an introvert deep down. Like, I recharge being by myself and everything, but it's like hard, man, to be that vulnerable with people up there. But now it's my favorite part. I'm like, I look them right in the eyes. I'm like, yeah, that's it.
Well, it's mutual understanding.
Yeah.
Like it's two people recognizing a similar experience and struggle.
Yeah.
It's cool.
It is so fun.
Art is special. There's nothing like it. Listen to Nate Smith's album. Please, please, please. California Gold. It's on there. Amazon Music. That's what I'm talking about. Talk to your Alexa Echo device. She'll play it for you. Okay? You good?
Is it true that your manager told you to grow your beard and your hair out?
Yeah.
That's much more country, obviously.
I showed up and yeah,
It's a good look. Yeah, it looks so good.
Dude, thank you, man. I showed up to Nashville with like a baby beard. You know, it wasn't quite there yet, and wore flip flops and shorts. I'm coming from California.
Yeah, you're California.
I
country.
wore rainbow, sandals and like shorts and. And I showed up to a music video shoot, and Michael Ray was up there, and it was right in the middle of his songs going #1 and everything, and they're like, you see Michael Ray over there wearing boots? Looks like a damn rock star. I'm like, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. Grow that buzz cut out, man. And it was the best decision they could have told me because I feel better.
It looks so natural. Like, it just looks like you.
Yeah, it does. It feels like me. Yeah, it's crazy.
I wish I had our TV here. The Wildfire single cover, you have like a short beard and a buzzed head.
That was a selfie.
I could tell.
I literally was like, and then we just put like a font on it or whatever. That was a selfie. When I was living in Chico. Yeah.
Dude, trading in the thongs for boots.
I love that you call them thongs.
Yeah, good decision, man.
The old thongs, man. Rainbow thongs.
Yeah, different than boots. A lot heavier to wear those boots.
They're hard to get off too. I have to get a shoehorn soon because
Jesus. Really?
I try to take them off. I'm like,
That's when you know, like it just shouldn't be on your feet. Like if you need another apparatus to get something on and off, it's not meant to be there. I don't think.
I do.
Shit.
Sometimes I wear J's on stage and everything. If I'm doing shorts, I'm doing like leopard shorts.
Oh yeah, you wear some wild outfits.
I wear some wild stuff,
That's
and then
cool.
I'll do like J's or whatever. And those are my favorite kind of outfits.
So no boots with shorts.
I've done it once on accident, because I left my shoes, and I had to walk from the hotel back to the car. My brother was with me, and he's just singing, "You're a rhinestone cowboy," and I'm just like walking these like shorts, no, sir,
No.
not for me, not for me. But you watch, you'll see. Maybe in a year I'll just do it.
Interesting.
Like, who cares?
We'll be watching.
Interesting.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out, Nate.
No, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you very much.
You're a great
Thanks for
guy.
helping me get my music out there, guys.
Oh, dude, please listen to the album. It's
Means the
worth your
world.
time. Beyond, like California Gold. You gonna listen, Carlos?
Okay.
That's one stream guaranteed.
That would mean the world to me, dude.
That's one.
It would really.
He'll stream it on Amazon Music.
It's a special record. I really believe in it so much, honestly.
You really should be proud of it. It's spectacular. 16 songs, more than worth your time, and a deluxe on the way, right?
I would hope so. I don't know if it's like formalized that we're doing it, but I've got these other 2 songs I was telling you that like they have to get out to the world.
And the deluxe is it.
There's a song called Rooftops. You just remember that. Rooftops.
Okay. Rooftops. When it's out, Amazon Music. Listen to the album though, California Gold. You good?
Yep.
Nate Smith, everybody.
Hey.